we have none other than the publicist, the wrestling fan, the woman that has the saying, God damn. We have Maddy Myer. What's going on, sis?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm super excited to chat and appreciate your time, seriously.
Of course, it's great to have you. We spoke a little bit yesterday, and we got a lot to chat about. We have definitely a lot to chat about.
We do.
Yeah, yeah. So I see the Maddy Mania in the background right now, and this is your podcast. Like what inspired it?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned in the intro I'm a wrestling fan, and I feel like a lot of people know me as that. I'm not shy about showing it. I go to a lot of shows, and
Hmm.
I've been thinking since about early last year that I wanted to do a wrestling podcast specifically and call it Maddy Mania because, a play on words, WrestleMania being the biggest event of wrestling and And I was thinking about it for a while, and then I was like, actually, there's like more than just wrestling that I'm super passionate about and know things about. So I wanted to open it up to be more than just wrestling and other pop culture topics, other sports, other entertainment things. And so the idea was formed, and then it was just time to actually put in the work to make it happen. Um,
Hmm.
I made this logo myself on Canva.
Oh wow.
Um, I brainstormed like topic ideas and I've done the outreach for every guest I've had on so far. And I think my publicist background kind of helped with knowing exactly what to do without really asking
Hmm.
help as much. I did ask help from like a few podcast friends just in terms of like hosting and editing, like what I should record my videos on and Spotify, Apple, etc., that kind of stuff. But in terms of like actually building the IP. That's all me. And I wanted to have something where I could hopefully build community of like-minded people that are just as passionate about certain things like me and aren't afraid to show it. So that's what birthed Maddy Mania.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And as I said, the background's fire, the logo is fire,
Thank
you
you.
know. And as you know, you've been building this for a long time, but we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Let's start from the beginning. And I'm talking humble beginnings. All right. Who is Maddy and what got you waking up one morning and be like, damn, I want to be a publicist. I want to get into journalism. I want to know about people. I want to know how I could shape the world for me.
Yeah, I humble beginnings. I am an only child and I always was an extrovert because I was an only child. I feel like I make friends pretty quickly and easily, especially as a Gemini. And
Gemini.
yeah. Um, and so I found that whenever I was making friends, what came easiest is if, you had a common passion. So a lot of my good friends in my life right now are from sports, especially like wrestling or basketball or like
Hmm.
concerts I've been to, just because we have that same kind of love. But growing up, I had a few things I wanted to do. I wanted to be a chef for a while. My mom put me in cooking classes and everything. It was called Young Chefs Academy.
Oh wow.
I was like serious about it for a while. I did have my phase of I wanted to be a wrestler for like 1 or 2 years, but my mom kind of vetoed that. And I wanted to be a basketball player because I grew up playing basketball, so many different things. But I started in college as a nursing major because I like got injured playing basketball my senior year, and I was between either doing physical therapy or nursing for school, and I went with nursing. Back to like me being an extrovert and making friends easily, I knew that I'd be able to help people, but also just interact with a lot of different people. And I'm the type of person that needs to be busy and have like a lot of different things going on in my life to
Hmm.
feel like it's fulfilling. So that was kind of my go-to initially. And then by sophomore, second semester, we were getting into clinicals and I realized I hate blood. And I'm like, how did I not know this before? Like what? But I needed to change to a different major where I could still feel like being around people and meeting new people and something that was just as exciting. And I was writing for the school newspaper at the time, and so I did highly consider journalism as my major, but
Hmm.
I ultimately went with public relations because I still got that writing background and being able to write, but also you can do so many things with PR, like events and activations, engagements. So I wanted a little bit more of variety, and as soon as I switched, it was like a light bulb went off, and it was like made for me. I have so many ideas for things, especially like in the music and sports world, and
Hmm.
I felt like I was just like right at home. And by my second semester in PR, I knew I wanted to get my master's and come out to LA to get more experience and connections in the entertainment world. So that's where I'm at now.
Fantastic. And I see your journey has gotten you so far. We got to talk about that blood part. So, because I get it. Okay. I get it. It's just like with me, it was just like I used to hate shots. And it
Yeah,
was just like, but yet I'm getting tattoos everywhere.
same.
Oh, come on. I can look. You get it, but it's just like as soon as it's weird because as soon as we hit the doctor's office, the blood starts dripping. We're just like, oh, get us out of here. Like literally outside the chair. So being in LA, I understand you've done a couple things. You've accomplished a lot. I understand you went to the Grammys.
I did.
That the experience on the red carpet, being able to see some of your favorite artists. How was that experience like? Being
Yeah.
probably in journalism and publicist.
I've been a couple times now. The first time I went was just as a guest, like it wasn't for work. One of my mom's friends was nominated, so we were
Congrats.
able to go with him, and that was fun. Like I got all dressed up, and I remember seeing Coco Jones and Jack Harlow just like in the lobby area of crypto and wanting to go up and talk to them, but it was like I had to go to the bathroom. So by the time I came out, they were gone. And that was wow, was that when I was 22, I want to say.
Mm,
And then the following years after that, up until this most recent Grammys in February, I've been working it as a publicist because we've had clients that were nominated, and as a publicist, your job is to accompany them at this award show. You're supporting them on the red carpet, making sure they get good interviews, good pictures, making sure they're just all set for the ceremony, and then if they win, you accompany them to like the winners area where they do more interviews and more pictures and they get
hmm
the official trophy. And it's just always a cool, fun day and experience. And I would say this past year, I was super excited to see Cat's Eye and Miley Cyrus.
Oh
And
yeah.
um, I saw a good chunk of people. I saw Lady Gaga, Billie Eilish, Justin Bieber, Kehlani, Zara Larson. Yeah, so many good people were on the carpet this year, and you're working, so you don't really have time to go up and say hi or anything, but it's just cool to kind of be around them and see like what goes into such a big event every year.
Oh, for sure. For sure. For sure. So fun fact, I was at the Grammys in 2022.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, and honestly, it was crazy because like when you're there in real time, I was there for the pre-show, was
hmm
there for the big one, and
hmm
it's just like I got to see so many people too. I from like some of the people I looked up to, like I saw Questlove, BB
Oh
BB
yeah.
Winans, CC Winans. I'm literally sitting right across from like Doja Cat, and I see SZA, and I was like. I'm just like, I was like,
What
excuse me,
is what is life right now, literally?
what is this? And it's like being in rooms like those really move you and motivates you, you know? So
100%.
yeah, so and just seeing Cat's Eye and running into like Coco Jones, was it one of those starstruck moments for you?
The funny thing is like with celebrities, even if you're A-list, I don't really get starstruck because of the nature of the job
Oh, for sure.
now. I feel like my one exception would be Ariana Grande once I finally meet her. That's like my number one celebrity ever. But
Almost. Yeah.
I do get starstruck with wrestlers, actually. So that's a whole different ball game. And I guess technically they're celebrities, but technically they're not at the same time. But I remember going to the premiere for the Iron Claw, which was a wrestling movie, and Zac
Hmm.
Efron was the star, and little Maddie loved Zac Efron from High School Musical, of course, and I'm just like not phased by him. But then I see John Cena come in, and I'm like, oh my God, like no words
You could actually
are
see him.
formed. Yes, I could somehow. I love that. Yeah, I was like no words could form out of my mouth for like 5 minutes. I was just like, that's John Cena. And now I've met him, not in like a work setting. I like met him at WrestleMania last year, but um it's one of those things that it's just funny to me that I feel like very few people would say like, oh, they're starstruck with wrestlers, but like fine with every other celebrity.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely feel you. Meeting an icon, especially like John Cena, that's something. That's something. You got to check out the indie shows though too.
Oh, I do, yeah. I'm into them. One of my friends, he had an indie show on WrestleMania Sunday that I went to for a bit. So
Oh, that's dope.
it's always cool seeing like the up and comers, and they always have cool gimmicks, I feel like too, like their personas and their
Yeah.
costumes. It's always fun.
And plus they always have like creative control too. It's all fun and games till you got to get into the mainstream and then all that's just finished
Yeah,
after that. Well,
all the
who
people pulling the strings.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. We don't talk about that too. Like when it comes to like your favorite wrestlers, who are some of your top five?
Top five, yeah. CM Punk is my number one guy. Um, I like how he's just like unapologetically himself. His
Hmm.
infamous pipe bomb. I think he's as good in the ring as he is on the mic. And whenever I started watching wrestling, I was like really drawn to him, and him being like the misfit, the like different guy, and
Hmm.
like he liked comic books and stuff, and like I liked all that stuff too growing up and was like bullied for it, and he's telling me like no, it's actually cool. And yeah, like CM Punk was always my guy, and then my top girl has always been Sasha Banks or Mercedes Moné now.
Oh yeah.
I think she is not only the best horsewoman, but I think she's one of, if not the best female wrestler in the world. She's takes her craft so seriously, like traveling to Japan, Mexico, wherever else just to get more experience wrestling and learning. And I love Sasha Banks. Like that's her as Sasha Banks is different than her as Mercedes Moné, of course, even though she's the same person. But
Yeah.
um, I just was always a big supporter of hers, and I've met her a few times, and she's always great. I also am a big Seth Rollins girly. Very similar to Punk. I feel the same way. Like when Punk left, Seth became my new fave, essentially. I feel like they're very similar style wrestling as well as on the mic. They even low-key look alike a little bit.
No,
So,
they don't. No,
yes,
they
they
don't.
do. They
They
totally
don't. What are you
do.
talking
They
about?
do. They have the same goatee beard situation. They did for a while.
No, they did not. What are you what?
Yes. I I'll show you the picture after this, the side by side. I'll show you.
Okay.
Um, but Seth, and then to go back to another lady, I love me some Charlotte Flair. I don't really care. So many people hate on her and like not even her as a character, like hate her for whatever reason. And I was like always the one who'd be like, I'll be the one person like clapping and cheering for Charlotte if nobody else is. And I feel like I've done that. And then number five, who's it gonna be? There's so many options it could be. I could go with like another lady like Liv or AJ. I could go with Jericho. I could go with Daniel Bryan, but I think I'm gonna go with an underrated fave of mine, Christian.
Oh
Or
my God, so
Christian
underrated.
Cage. In my opinion, he should have had the same level of fame as Edge. It just never happened for him. But similar to when I started watching and being drawn to Punk, that's around the same time that Randy and Christian were kind of going back and forth for the World Heavyweight title on SmackDown.
Hmm.
And I was just like drawn to his charisma. Like his nickname was Captain Charisma, and I was like, yes, I'm locked in. I loved his finisher, not just the spear, but like the kill switch, and
Yeah.
his theme music, like everything about him. And I can now say that every wrestler that I've listed, I've met multiple times. So I think I'm winning with
No, you definitely are.
meeting new faves.
Yeah, like you're definitely you're really in this. Like you're in too deep now. Like it's funny because Christian is hella underrated. He didn't start getting shine until he started going to TNA.
Yep.
And he became the NWA champion, one of the oldest titles in wrestling and one of the most prestigious still till this day. You hold that NWA title, you're basically a walking, living legend.
Yeah.
You know, but when you said CM Punk and Seth Rollins look alike, I'm just like, where are we getting these comparisons? Where are these numbers coming from?
I'll show you. I'll show you after.
Yeah, no, please do, because help me figure it out. But like when you say CM Punk, nah, we talked to listen. How do you feel like he did against Roman Reigns?
I think that it was a good match because of CM Punk.
So you think Punk really carried everything in that match?
I didn't say he carried everything. Stamina wise, obviously Roman has better stamina. Punk's a little bit older, and I'm not gonna lie and say that's not true, but Punk is the better wrestler 100%.
Oh, God no.
Look at the flop main events Roman's
The
had.
flop main events is crazy. Listen, he's not your boy Christian, okay? The thing is, I'm just I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Christian, if you're watching, I'm just kidding, bro. You're one of my
I love
favorites.
you, Christian. I
Right.
said no foul words
No,
about you.
right. You see our tats? Listen, look at here. Like Christian is dope, but CM Punk is getting to that age to the point where it's just like I think it's time to it's like LeBron. I think it's time to hang it up, man. And it's just like we want you to do everything else, you know? You want to work with creative and TKO? Do it. You
Oh, we
want
would never.
to look, I if anything, CM Punk's going to open his own promotion.
I can see that.
Right. Pipe Bomb University Wrestling, all right?
I like that name. Yeah.
It's
No, yeah. I mean, I can't disagree and say like he probably only has a few more years for his run and then yeah, see what else. Most wrestlers retire at like 48, so he has a year to go actually until that point. But yeah, I mean, he's in like the best shape he's been in a
yeah.
while. So I think he's serious about at least doing another couple years or so.
No, for sure. For sure. I know CM Punk is he said he's the best in the world. Please believe he definitely is. Got to see him in action back when he was in ECW, Ring of Honor too. And he's definitely up there with Daniel Bryan, or probably even surpassed Daniel. So when it comes to wrestling, you told me you at one point you wanted to be a wrestler. And I know when as soon as you step into the ring, Maddy Mania was going to go absolutely wild. Uh, what was it about being a wrestler? Also, real quick, Sasha Banks, Mercedes Monet. Of course, I want to talk to you about the cons real quick. These wrestling cons, they happen all the time. I assume that you go to the cons. There's been a lot of controversy with wrestlers at these cons. We got the big man Vito fighting one of his fans because his
Mm,
fans were taking it too far. We all heard what happened to Elena Black, and which is definitely unfortunate. I don't wish that upon
yeah.
any of the ladies here. It's just inappropriate and uncalled for. Drew McIntyre almost choke slamming someone through a table because they won't get their phone out their face in the airport. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a fine line. Your fans are who made you popular and like fund your career essentially. But at the same time, that doesn't mean you're entitled to their time all the time. They're human too. And it's like they could be having a bad day. They want, obviously, if they're in the airport, like a lot of wrestlers specifically for that have spoken out about that before, that and the hotels. And it seems like the fans just don't respect them if they're doing that, in my opinion. Um, it's the same as like if it would be an artist and you're like camping out at that hotel. That's like weird behavior to me. It's different obviously
Hmm.
if it just like coincidentally happens and you're there or whatever, or if you're going to a con and you're like paying for that time, obviously. But once it gets to like the stalking and camping out, that's when it's like it's unacceptable and weird and
A little too much. Too
yeah,
much.
these are again, these are people too.
Right.
So yeah, and then in terms of like the cons specifically, like talk to them, tell them how cool they are, how much you love them, all that stuff, but don't get like touchy and creepy with them. And like if you want more than one picture or whatever, like ask, like be respectful. Again, these are people. They're not just like what's the word I'm looking for? They're not just their brands. They're actual people behind those brands.
Yeah. And what makes it scary is these people have real families and real kids, sons, daughters, wives,
I
mothers.
mean, the Liv Morgan stalker, we didn't mention that, but
Oh man.
he pulled up at her house. Like what?
Right. I'm
That's
just
crazy.
there was one other wrestler that happened to that happened to be stalked as well. And there was a she was like she was a wrestler, but Sonya Deville,
Mm,
that happened to Sonya Deville
I
a while
remember,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like don't get it twisted. Sonya is still human. She'll whoop your ass because she can actually fight. She actually is a mixed martial artist.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's just like she was scared for her life, you know. Like someone had to pull out a shotty because this guy just didn't get it.
honestly, that's just unacceptable.
Yeah, but also we also see different people, different wrestlers. Like for example, a couple years ago, Seth got attacked while he was
On,
walking.
yes,
Yes.
I remember that, and then he fought back, and I mean, if you can't take it, don't dish it out.
Oh, exactly, exactly, exactly. Now, Maddie, of course, we're a music podcast as well, so we got to know some of your top five artists. But also, we're going to make it a little bit more interesting. All right, I want to know some your favorite artists, your top five artists of all time, but also like your top five wrestling theme songs of all time.
Ooh, ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm gonna start with the artist. So number one, I already mentioned earlier is Ariana Grande.
Mm-hmm.
She's been my favorite since I was 13, so that's half my life now at this point at 26. Um, I think she has the best vocals of her generation, and I just respect her so much and how far she's come from being like on a Nickelodeon show to being not only a pop star but now a movie star too.
Oh, for sure.
So it's always going to be Ariana Grande. Nobody could ever compete or get on that rank. Um,
Nobody.
nobody.
Lady Gaga.
No. Lady Gaga's not even in the top 10 for me. I do like her,
Oh,
but she's not in my
oh,
top 10.
Beyonce.
Beyonce's up there, but she's uh, Ariana for me.
Mm-mm. The hesitation. No. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's always Ariana. And then uh okay, number two. See, it's so hard because the gap between one and two. Like I said, Ariana's like, okay, I'm gonna give you a good number two. I'm going with Kaylani. Now, I don't want people to be like, oh, I'm just a bandwagon since Folded. That is not the case. I've been a fan since The Way, her The Way, not just Ariana's The Way. with Chance.
Oh
And
my God, that
yeah,
2012 type.
yeah, or 13, one of those. But yeah,
Actually, 14, 14.
14. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I remember I was too young to go to the Sweet Sexy Savage tour because you had to be 18 plus at the venue. And that album came out, I believe, in 2016. And I was still either 16 or 17. And I was devastated because that's one of my favorite albums of all time. No skips. Um,
Mm,
and that's when I started being like more of a fan of hers. And now I'm just so excited that she's finally getting her flowers like 10 years later, essentially
finally.
getting what she deserves because she is so talented vocally. And I lean toward a lot of artists that like actually speak out for things that are like wrong in society. And um Kehlani's always been a real one like that. I mean, same with Ariana, but yeah, I respect artists who aren't afraid to use their platform for good, essentially. Um, and then for number three, I'm gonna go with Renee Rapp. Are you familiar with Renee Rapp?
I am not. I am not.
Okay, I need to put you on. She started on Broadway.
Hmm.
I'm a big Broadway theater fan. And then she got cast in The Sex Lives of College Girls, that show on Max. And she recently left it to pursue music career full time, but um she has like a voice of an angel and her register is just out of this world. Plus that Broadway background, I'm always going to support a Broadway girly. So I'm going with Renee Rapp, and
Renee
she
Rapp.
also has that like that personality where it's like you can media train her all you want, but she's still gonna say whatever the hell she wants to say, and
Oh, for sure.
that just makes her like so much more real to me. So I'm a big fan of Renee Rapp. Um, number four. I'm like, do I have to say a man? Because I'm probably not gonna say a man in
It's
this.
you can say a man. I don't. It's all right. It's all good.
No, I don't think a man's in my top five.
That's fine.
I'm gonna give number four to Sabrina Carpenter. And again, I don't want people to come for me and say I'm just like on the bandwagon of her blowing up now or whatever. Like, no, I've supported this girl since she was on Disney Channel
Hmm.
in Girl Meets World, releasing not flop songs, but just like
Why you do her like that? Why you say it like that?
Disney coded songs where, she's with Disney's Hollywood Records and can only do certain type of music. So, but
Why you say it
Sabrina
like
is a great singer, a great performer. If you saw the production from the Coachella headlining performance, she's just so like creatively in tune with her career and what she wants, and she finally has like a team that fully supports her in that. And so I'm really happy for her to be blowing up. And then I'm not so much into them as I was the past couple of years, but I still need to mention them because for a big chunk of my life, it was like all about them. But the K-pop group Blackpink,
Who?
Blackpink.
I do know who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're super talented.
Yeah, I got into them around like 2018, and I would say my peak fandom with them probably ended like 2024 because they started doing solo stuff, not so much
Hmm.
as a group, but they are extremely talented, hardworking. Like the K-pop system is a whole different level of grind than the West, and to be able to reach the success and popularity that they have now worldwide, not just in Korea, obviously, is really inspiring. And even though I'm like not as into them because they don't release music that much anymore, I'm still like all in to support all four of them individually. And yeah, that's my top five. And then wrestling theme songs.
Yes.
Let's see. Probably my first favorite one is Sasha Banks, um, the OG version, not the one with Snoop Dogg remix, though I do like that one too.
That one is dope. That one is
Yeah.
dope.
So the Sasha Banks theme song, anytime that comes on, I'm ready. Um,
Hmm.
this one is like so left field random, but We Are One was a theme song that was used for Nexus when
Nexus.
Wade Barrett was in charge, and
Hmm.
I love that song so much. I mentioned to Wade at Mania weekend, I was like, the Bullhammer was like my favorite finisher for the longest time, and he was like, I don't hear that ever, and I was like, well, now you've heard it. So, but yeah, that Nexus theme song was a good one for me. Like, I have a wrestling theme song playlist on my phone, and it's in there. I really love Bianca Belair's. Just as soon as it starts, I like want to swing my ponytail that I don't even have. But I love Bianca, and the fact that her and Sasha got to main event and make Black history was a moment I went just for that match, even though that was the like post-COVID mania where it was like half seats and we got rained on, but I was like
Hmm.
there to support my girls.
Definitely worth it.
Exactly.
Definitely worth it.
I'm gonna go with Bianca. Then I'm gonna go with Jericho. I mean, I always like when wrestlers like singer are like kind of singing their own songs or have ad libs in their own songs. Um,
Hmm.
and
And this with Fozzy.
yeah,
Oh, that's the best one. It's the
yeah.
best one.
So big Jericho theme song fan. And then, lastly, I'm gonna give it to AJ Lee. Let's light it up. Anytime that shit starts, I'm like in a good mood immediately. I want to skip around and I'm not a skipper. But when
It's
that music hit with her return, I like lost my mind because everybody had been waiting for CM Punk to return and I have just like everybody else because he's my favorite, but I feel like I almost was more excited for AJ's return just because Punk had already had that AEW run for a little bit and then just AJ coming back to WWE when it's like her circumstances of leaving was still a bit messy like Punk's, but it was also like, oh, she's retired and she like made that clear. So for her to come back and at the time she was like the only diva that I liked because all the other ones were like boring to me.
mhm. she she brought a specific type of edge,
Yeah.
you know. And of course, the whole crazy theme. And it's just like the crazy theme is cool, but the craziness belonged to Mickey James because she had it first.
Mm.
Like Mickey James was more the crazed fan, but AJ Lee had more of the crazy girlfriend type vibe,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and AJ Lee has definitely been a staple. What were your thoughts when Paige came back this year?
I'm mad because I saw the leak about it on Twitter and I wish I didn't because I was freaking pissed um that I saw it and knew it was gonna happen. As an AJ fan, like 13, 14-year-old me was not a Paige fan
I get it. It's all good.
because their rivalry and the fact that I was at the like Raw after Mania when Paige won the title from AJ and I was like so pissed and I'm like 14 at the time like
Yeah.
but I'm excited for her to be back because I feel like, her career didn't get to end on her terms. So for her to be back and like I know she had a run in AEW, but it didn't really like hit the same. So I'm hoping that she'll have a decent run back as Paige, the original anti-diva, do like some kind of storyline with Rhea Ripley or something could be cool.
No, yeah, no, that would be amazing. Better if they tag team.
That'd be
You
cool
know, got
too.
like get you're here for it.
Yeah, even though like neither of them are like my faves, but I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, you mind if I tell you my top five, my
Yeah,
top
go
five
for it.
faves real quick? So let me tell you, my favorite wrestler is of course Roman Reigns after the big dog, Tribal Chief himself.
Mhm.
Uh, Edge has always been one of my favorites. I've always liked the heels, the bad guys, because it
Yeah,
just made more sense. Legend killer Randy Orton.
Solid.
Yes. Thank
Got
you.
to.
Thank you. Jade Cargile.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say she can't wrestle. I was like, that's not the case. You must have not seen her at Mania. All right.
No, Jade gets a lot of hate that she doesn't deserve. Also, like, there's so many people that can't wrestle that are still given opportunities, in my opinion, that are way worse than Jade, so they can be
Ex-
quiet.
Exactly. Exactly. I think Jade is dope. Jade is basically the full package. It's just
That's the look, the charisma, the athleticism, all of it.
exactly. 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 And I'm not about to argue with anybody who can lift me above their head. Okay.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost. And honestly, Jade is just a great person overall.
Yeah.
And also EC3, EC3. Come on, the third. And talk
Dixie
about
Carter
talk
the third.
yes, talk about our boy EC3. Shout out to our boy EC3, man. Definitely great guy, amazing person, even better wrestler. He's a walking living legend right now. You know,
One of the greats, seriously. He his TNA run specifically with, and I told him this, with Dixie Carter was like just incredible, and I don't think anybody else could have done what he did with that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exa- exactly. My thing is EC3 knows really how to like not just adapt in wrestling,
Mm,
but his IQ within and outside the ring, business wise and within the ring, is incredible. There's no words to describe it.
yeah.
You could tell he studies the game. Or how the kids say he knows ball. So
He does know ball.
he does know ball. This man is putting up Jordan numbers. All right,
Exactly.
and
Yes.
and at such a young age too. So shout out to our boy for real. I hope you're doing well. Congratulations and welcome back to TNA, man. The wrestling world definitely needed you. And shout out to Exodus as well. All right. For the people who don't know, the people that want to know, the people here for a good show, I go by the name of Marcus Storm, and tonight we got none other than Maddy Myer. Say what's up, Maddy.
What's up, everybody?
And we are back with Sip and Chill, and this is our Roots series. All right, we had to head back to our roots. Okay, again, we started in 2020, we're in 2026, and that's what makes it sick. All right, now we're speaking with Maddy, big wrestling fan. She's been killing it ever since. She's been on road for a long time. All right, so Maddy, again, like I just had to reintroduce because I do it all the time for the shows. Now Maddy, we got to go back again because if you were a wrestler, what would not just your theme song be, but also
Mm.
like what would your finishing move be, and what would you call it?
Ooh. So whenever I was like brainstorming, like don't judge me guys, because this was like the brain of a 14-year-old. I wanted to be called Matty Ice and
That's actually
not
fire.
not like Matty Ice like rapper Matty Ice, but like Matty Ice like I'm cold at basketball because I played basketball. So I wanted to be Matty Ice and be like this athlete persona that I could like that I was good at like every sport essentially, and I would be heel and I like grace the fans with my presence as a wrestler even though I could have been in like the NFL, MLB, WNBA, all the things, but like you guys are lucky that you got Matty Ice as a wrestler in your presence, and that would have been like the whole vibe. Um,
Hmm.
and I didn't really like know what my theme song would be, but I just knew I wanted it to be like badass and go hard. Maybe something from like, oh, actually, now that I'm thinking back to it, 23 by Miley Cyrus and Mike Will would have been cool.
That is sick.
That would have been cool. And finisher wise, I said I was a big fan of the bullhammer, so I would want some kind of like think of like the Claymore slash Daniel Bryan's running knee, but with it being an elbow. So, because I know Wade would sometimes do it like he was running, but a lot of other times it'd be like he'd just be right there and pull it out. So
Yeah.
I would want to do like some kind of running elbow to the temple and that would drop him for the 3 count. I guess kind of like a Superman punch, but with an elbow.
That's actually really dope. I'm actually visualizing it, and it definitely works.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be cool. Yeah, that's a dream that will never come true, but it's cool to imagine and think back sometimes.
Never say never. We have to
Oh
make that happen.
no. I had to get hip surgery last year. It's not happening.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, Maddie, I feel like you have to come to Cleveland first and foremost and see a show of Exodus. All
Okay,
right.
I'm
That's
down. I've never been to
EC3.
Cleveland, so
What'd you say?
I've never been to Cleveland.
Well, you got to come on down. We got to show you the sights. And Cleveland, you got to know, is a huge wrestling town.
Yeah, that's
All
what I've
right.
heard.
Yes, like anytime there's any wrestling, people from all around the city just go. We have promotions like Exodus Wrestling with EC3. We have AIW.
Hmm.
We who where some of the greats have come out that school. We have Mega Championship Wrestling. All right. We have we have we have miniature wrestling, which is yeah, you know. Like those are four promotions. All right. And we have some of the best athletes ever to come out, you know, even like Dolph Ziggler, you know.
Oh my God. Speaking of top five, I can't believe I forgot the Zig Man. I love Dolph Ziggler so much.
Ziggler, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. Who is Ziggler one of your wrestlers that you would want to interview?
Oh yeah, 100%. That'd be cool. I'm kind of thinking like maybe I'll get there. I've gone to his and Ryan's comedy shows a few times and like chatted it up with them a bit. So that could be cool.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope. We might as well get him on Comedy Central and get a Comedy Central special. Do they still do those?
I don't know, but that would be cool.
That would be dope. That would be dope. That would be dope. Maddie, I appreciate you coming on. It's been incredible. I appreciate you just gracing us with your presence and giving us the time so I can just interview you. You know, I got one last question for you, too, actually.
Okay.
For a person trying to be in the same position as you right now, what is one thing that you would leave them with to get them started, but also let people know where they can find you as well?
Yeah, so I'm sure this is like beating a dead horse about networking, but live and breathe by that. As soon as I knew I wanted to go to grad school, which was 2019 or 2020, one of those years, I started networking immediately, knowing that, USC was the dream school, and I did everything in my power to make it happen. And I think that's the reason, starting so early, that I was able to make it happen, not only with grad school, but also with a job as a publicist in LA, coming from, as I like to say, the other LA.
Hmm.
But networking isn't just about like who you know, it's about who knows you. So,
Right.
you want to make sure you leave a memorable impression, something that is unique about you and sets you apart. And best way to kind of keep track with people you meet, make a little spreadsheet, say like where you know them from the last time you talked to them, and try to do check-ins every 3 months or so, whether it's like you read something on their LinkedIn that you liked, or you saw their name in an article you were reading, or it's their birthday, or their kid graduated, whatever it might be, just to kind of keep your name on their radar. So definitely networking. And then socials wise, I am at Maddy Mania Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, as well as for just audio listening on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. And personal, I'm at Meyer Madeline, Madelyn, on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. And I refuse to call it X, so I'm saying Twitter.
Yeah, same here. I'm not. I'm not calling that crap X. I feel like Elon gets so mad. Like, call it X, damn it.
Too bad, bro. I'm not
Yeah,
calling it that.
yeah. None of us are. None of us are. Maddie, I appreciate you coming on. You are officially a Sip and Chill alumni. Anytime you need us, you give us a call. We usually fly in and out of LA anyway. All
Oh, hit
right.
me up if you guys are next time you're out here, let me know.
Hell yeah, we got to get on your show this time.
100%. I
Oh
always love
yeah.
an in-person meet too. I'm such an in-person person. I like to be on the go.
No, same here. Same here. I feel like we have hectic schedules, but we can always
Yeah.
somehow meet in the middle for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but till then, I go by the name of Marcus Storm,
Maddy Myer.
and this has been Sip and Chill. Good night, everybody.
Night. Thanks.